Loukas, Luke. Chapter 1. Since many have taken in hand to set forth in order a declaration of those things which are most surely believed among us, even as they delivered them unto us, who from the beginning were eyewitnesses and ministers of the word, it seemed good to me also, having had perfect understanding of all things from the very first, to write unto you in order, most excellent Theophilus, that you might know the certainty of those things where you have been instructed. There was in the days of Herodes, the king of Yehudah, a certain Kohen named Zechariah, in the course of Abiyahu, and his Gaini was of the daughters of Aharon, and her name was Elisheba. And they were both righteous before Elohiym, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of Yahuah blameless. And they had no child, because that Elisheba was barren, and they both were now well stricken in years. And it came to pass that while he performed his functions before Elohiym in the order of his course, according to the custom of the kahunah, his lot was to burn incense when he went into the temple of Yahuah, and the whole multitude of the people were praying out at the time of incense. And there appeared unto him an angel of Yahuah standing on the right side of the altar of incense. And when Zechariah saw him, he was troubled, and fear fell upon him. But the angel said unto him, Do not fear, Zechariah, for your prayer is heard, and your Gaini, Elisheba, shall bear you a son, and you shall call his name Yochanan. And ye shall have joy and gladness, and many shall rejoice at his birth. For he shall be great in the sight of Yahuah, and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink, and he shall be filled with the Ruach Kodesh, even from his mother's womb. And many of the children of Yisra'el shall he turn to Yahuah their Elohiym. And he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Eliyahu, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for Yahuah. And Zechariah said unto the angel, How shall I know this? For I am an old man, and my Gaini well stricken in years. And the angel answering said unto him, I am Gabriel, who stand in the presence of Elohiym, and am sent to speak unto you, and to show you these good news. And behold, you shall be dumb and not able to speak, until the day that these things shall be performed, because you did not believe my words, which shall be fulfilled in their season. And the people waited for Zechariah, and marveled that he stayed so long in the temple. And when he came out, he could not speak unto them, and they knew that he had seen a vision in the temple, for he nodded unto them, and remained speechless. And it came to pass that, as soon as the days of his ministration were accomplished, he departed to his own house. And after those days his Gaini, Elisheba, conceived, and hid herself 5 months, saying, Thus has Yahuah dealt with me in the days where he looked on me, to take away my reproach among men. And in the 6th month the angel Gabriel was sent from Elohiym unto a city of Galilee named Nazareth, to a virgin espoused to a man whose name was Yosef, of the house of David, and the virgin's name was Miriam. And the angel came in unto her, and said, Hail, you that are highly favored, Yahuah is with you, Barak are you among women. And when she saw him, she was troubled at his saying, and thought, What kind of salutation this should be? And the angel said unto her, Do not fear, Miriam, for you have found favor with Elohiym. And behold, you shall conceive in your womb, and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Yahusha. He shall be great, and shall be called the Son of Elyon, and Yahuah Elohiym shall give unto him the throne of his father David. And he shall reign over the house of Yaakov forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end. Then Miriam said unto the angel, How shall this be, seeing I do not know a man? And the angel answered and said unto her, The Ruach Kodesh shall come upon you, and the power of Elyon shall overshadow you. Therefore also that Kodesh thing who shall be born of you shall be called the Son of Elohiym. And behold, your cousin Elisheba, she has also conceived a son in her old age, and this is the 6th month with her, who was called barren. For with Elohiym nothing shall be impossible. And Miriam said, Behold, the female slave of Yahuah, be it unto me according to your word. And the angel departed from her. And Miriam arose in those days, and went into the hill country with haste, into a city of Yehudah, and entered into the house of Zechariah, and saluted Elisheba. And it came to pass that when Elisheba heard the salutation of Miriam, the babe leaped in her womb, and Elisheba was filled with the Ruach Kodesh. And she spoke out with a loud voice, and said, Barak are you among women, and Barak is the fruit of your womb. And where is this to me, that the mother of my Adonai should come to me? For lo, as soon as the voice of your salutation sounded in my ears, the babe leaped in my womb for joy. And Barak is she that believed, for there shall be a performance of those things which were told her from Yahuah. And Miriam said, My soul does magnify Yahuah, and my spirit has rejoiced in Elohiym my sotir. For he has regarded the low estate of his female slaves. For behold, from here on all generations shall call me Barak. For he that is mighty has done to me great things, and Kodesh is his name. And his mercy is on them that fear him from generation to generation. He has shown strength with his arm. He has scattered the proud in the imagination of their hearts. He has put down the mighty from their seats, and exalted them of low degree. He has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he has sent empty away. He has helped his servant Yisra'el in remembrance of his mercy, as he spoke to our fathers, to Abraham, and to his seed forever. And Miriam remained with her about 3 months, and returned to her own house. Now Elishaba's full time came that she should be delivered, and she brought forth a son. And her neighbors and her cousins heard how Yahuah had shown great mercy upon her, and they rejoiced with her. And it came to pass that on the 8th day they came to circumcise the child, and they called him Zechariah after the name of his father. And his mother answered and said, Not so, but he shall be called Yochanan. And they said unto her, There is none of your kindred that is called by this name. And they made signs to the father, how he wanted to have him called. And he asked for a writing tablet, and wrote, saying, His name is Yochanan. And they marveled all. And his mouth was opened immediately, and his tongue loosed, and he spoke and praised Elohiym. And fear came on all that dwelt around them, and all these sayings were noised abroad throughout all the hill country of Yehudah. And all they that heard them laid them up in their hearts, saying, What kind of child is this shall be? And the hand of Yahuah was with him. And his father Zechariah was filled with the Ruach Kodesh, and prophesied, saying, Barak is Yahuah Elohiym of Yisra'el, for he has visited and redeemed his people, and has raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spoke by the mouth of his Kodesh prophets, who have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers, and to remember his Kodesh covenant, the oath that he swore to our father Abraham, that he would grant unto us, that we, being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him without fear, in piety and righteousness before him all the days of our life. And you, child, shall be called the prophet of Elyon, for you shall go before the face of Adonai to prepare his ways, to give knowledge of salvation unto his people by the forgiveness of their sins, through the tender mercy of our Elohiym, where the dayspring from on high has visited us, to give light to them that sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the way of peace. And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, and was in the deserts till the day of his showing unto Yisra'el. Chapter 2. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Quirinius was governor of Tsor. And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galil, out of the city of Nazareth, into Yehudah, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Miriam his espoused Guinea, being great with child. And so it was that, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a stall, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds staying in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of Yahuah came upon them, and the glory of Yahuah shone around them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Do not fear, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Soter, who is the Mashiach the Adonai. And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a stall. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising Elohiym, and saying, Glory to Elohiym in Elyon, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. And it came to pass, as the angels were gone away from them into heaven, the shepherds said one to another, Let us now go even unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which has come to pass, that Yahuah has made known to us. And they came with haste, and found Miriam and Yosef and the babe lying in a stall. And when they had seen it, they made known abroad the saying that was told them concerning this child. And all they that heard it wondered at those things that were told them by the shepherds. But Miriam kept all these things, and pondered them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising Elohiym for all the things that they had heard and seen, as it was told unto them. And when 8 days were accomplished for the circumcising of the child, his name was called Yahusha, which was so named by the angel before he was conceived in the womb. And when the days of her purification, according to the law of Moshe, were accomplished, they brought him to Jerusalem to present him to Yahuah. As it is written in the law of Yahuah, every male that opens the womb shall be called Kodesh to Yahuah. And to offer a sacrifice according to that which is said in the law of Yahuah, a pair of turtle doves or 2 young pigeons. And behold, there was a man in Jerusalem whose name was Shimon, and the same man was just and devout, waiting for the consolation of Yisra'el, and the Ruach Kodesh was upon him. And it was revealed unto him by the Ruach Kodesh that he should not see death before he had seen Yahuah's Mashiach. And he came by the Ruach into the temple, and when the parents brought in the child Yahusha to do for him after the custom of the law, then he took him up in his arms, and barak Elohiym, and said, Yahuah, now let your slave depart in peace, according to your word. For my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared before the face of all people, a light to lighten the Gentiles, and the glory of your people, Yisra'el. And Yosef and his mother marveled at those things that were spoken by him. And Shimon baraked them, and said unto Miriam his mother, Behold, this child is set for the fall and rising again of many in Yisra'el, and for a sign which shall be spoken against. Yes, a sword shall pierce through your own soul also, that the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed. And there was one, Hannah, a prophetess, the daughter of Penuel, of the tribe of Asher. She was of a great age, and had lived with a man 7 years from her virginity. And she was a widow of about 84 years, who departed not from the temple, but served Elohiym with fastings and prayers night and day. And she, coming in that instant, gave thanks the same unto Yahuah, and spoke of him to all them that looked for redemption in Jerusalem. And when they had performed all things according to the law of Yahuah, they returned into Galilee, into their own city, Nazareth. And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom, and the grace of Elohiym was upon him. Now his parents went into Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Pesach, and when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. And when they had fulfilled the days, as they returned, the child Yahusha stayed behind in Jerusalem, and Yosef and his mother did not know of it. But they, thinking him to have been in the multitude, went a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinfolk and acquaintance. And when they did not find him, they turned back again to Jerusalem, seeking him. And it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why have you dealt with us like this? Behold, your father and I have sought you sorrowing. And he said unto them, How is it that you sought me? Do you not know that I must be in my Father's house? And they did not understand the saying that he spoke unto them. And he went down with them, and came to Nazareth, and was obedient unto them. But his mother kept all these sayings in her heart. And Yahusha increased in wisdom and stature, and in favor with Elohiym and man. Chapter 3. Now in the 15th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, Pontius Pilatus being governor of Yehuda, and Herodes being tetrarch of Galilee, and his brother Philippus tetrarch of Yatur, and of the region of Trachonitis, and Lysanias the tetrarch of Abel. Hananiah and Caiaphas being high Kohen, the word of Elohiym came unto Yochanan, the son of Zechariah, in the wilderness. And he came into all the country around Jordan, preaching the baptism of repentance and the forgiveness of sin, as it is written in the book of the words of Yeshayahu the prophet, saying, The voice of one crying in the wilderness, Prepare the way for Adonai, make his path straight. Every valley shall be filled, and every mountain and hill shall be brought low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough ways shall be made smooth. And all flesh shall see the salvation of Elohiym. Then he said to the multitude that came forth to be baptized by him, O generation of Echidna, who has warned you to flee from the wrath to come? Bring forth therefore fruits worthy of repentance, and do not begin to say within yourselves, We have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you, that Elohiym is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Every tree therefore that does not bring forth good fruit is cut down and cast into the fire. And the people asked him, saying, What shall we do then? He answered and said unto them, He that has 2 coats, let him share with him that has none, and he that has food, let him do the same. Then came also tax collectors to be baptized, and said unto him, Master, what shall we do? And he said unto them, Collect no more than that which is appointed you. And the soldiers the same demanded of him, saying, And what shall we do? And he said unto them, Do violence to no man, do not accuse any falsely, and be content with your wages. And as the people were in expectation, and all men thought in their hearts of Yochanan, whether he was the Mashiach or not, Yochanan answered, saying unto them all, I indeed baptize you with water, but one mightier than I come, the latchet of whose shoes I am not worthy to unloose. He shall baptize you with the Ruach Kodesh and with fire, whose fan is in his hand, and he will thoroughly cleanse his floor, and will gather the wheat into his garner, but the chaff he will burn with unquenchable fire. And many other things in his exhortation he preached unto the people. But Herodes, the tetrarch, being reproved by him for Herodesias, his brother Philippus Gynae, and for all the evils which Herodes had done, added yet this above all, that incarcerated Yochanan in prison. Now when all the people were baptized, it came to pass that Yahusha also being baptized and praying, the heaven was opened. And the Ruach Kodesh descended in a bodily shape like a dove upon him, and a voice came from heaven that said, You are my beloved Son, in you I am well pleased. And Yahusha himself began to be about 30 years of age, being, as was supposed, the son of Yoseph, who was the son of Eli, who was the son of Mattatyahu, who was the son of Leui, who was the son of Melech, who was the son of Yanah, who was the son of Yoseph, who was the son of Mattatyahu, who was the son of Amoz, who was the son of Nahum, who was the son of Elihoenai, who was the son of Nogah, who was the son of Maath, who was the son of Mattatyahu, who was the son of Shemi, who was the son of Yoseph, who was the son of Yehuda, who was the son of Yochanan, who was the son of Raphael, who was the son of Zerubbabel, who was the son of Shealtiel, who was the son of Neriyahu, who was the son of Melech, who was the son of Adi, who was the son of Kisem, who was the son of Almodad, who was the son of Er, who was the son of Yoseph, who was the son of Eleazar, who was the son of Joram, who was the son of Mattatyahu, who was the son of Leui, and who was the son of Shimon, who was the son of Yehuda, who was the son of Yosef, who was the son of Yonah, who was the son of Eliakim, who was the son of Melias, who was the son of Mainan, who was the son of Mattatah, who was the son of Nathan, who was the son of David, who was the son of Yishai, who was the son of Obed, who was the son of Boaz, who was the son of Salmon, who was the son of Nachshon, who was the son of Aminadab, who was the son of Ram, who was the son of Chetzron, who was the son of Peretz, who was the son of Yehudah, who was the son of Yaakov, who was the son of Yitzhak, who was the son of Abraham, who was the son of Terach, who was the son of Nahor, who was the son of Serug, who was the son of Reu, who was the son of Peleg, who was the son of Eber, who was the son of Shelach, who was the son of Canaan, who was the son of Arpachshad, who was the son of Shem, who was the son of Noach, who was the son of Lamech, who was the son of Methuselah, who was the son of Chanach, who was the son of Yared, who was the son of Mahalalel, who was the son of Canaan, who was the son of Enosh, who was the son of Sheth, who was the son of Adam, who was the son of Elohiym. Chapter 4. And Yahusha, being full of the Ruach Kodesh, returned from Yarden, and was led by the Ruach into the wilderness, being 40 days tempted by the Diablos, and in those days he did not anything. And when they were ended, he was afterward hungry. And the Diablos said unto him, If you are the Son of Elohiym, command this stone to become bread. And Yahusha answered him, saying, It is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of Elohiym. And the Diablos, taking him up into a high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the Diablos said unto him, All this power I will give you, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomever I want to give it. If you therefore worship me, all shall be yours. And Yahusha answered and said unto him, Get away from me, accuser, for it is written, You shall worship Yahuah your Elohiym, and him only shall you serve. And he brought him to Jerusalem, and set him on a pinnacle of the temple, and said unto him, If you are the Son of Elohiym, cast yourself down from here. For it is written, He shall command his angels over you to keep you, and in their hands they shall bear you up, lest at any time you dash your foot against a stone. And Yahusha answering said unto him, It is said, You shall not tempt Yahuah your Elohiym. And when the Diablos had ended all the temptation, he departed from him for a while. And Yahusha returned in the power of the Ruach into Galilee, and there went out a fame of him through all the region around. And he taught in their synagogues, being glorified of all. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on a Shabbath day, and stood up to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Yeshayahu. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written, The Ruach of Yahuah is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of Yahuah. And he closed the book, and he gave it again to the minister, and sat down. And the eyes of all them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. And he began to say unto them, This day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears. And all bare him witness, and wondered at the gracious words that proceeded out of his mouth. And they said, Is this not Joseph's son? And he said unto them, You will surely say unto me this proverb, Physician, heal yourself. Whatever we have heard done in Capharnaum, do also here in your country. And he said, Truly I say unto you, no prophet is accepted in his own country. But I tell you truly, many widows were in Yisra'el in the days of Eliyahu, when the heaven was shut up 3 years and 6 months, when great famine was throughout all the land. But unto none of them was Eliyahu sent, save unto Zarephath, the city of Sidon, unto a woman that was a widow. And many lepers were in Yisra'el in the time of Elisha the prophet, and none of them was cleansed, saving Naaman the Tzorn. And all they in the synagogue, when they heard these things, were filled with wrath, and rose up and cast him out of the city, and led him unto the brow of the hill where their city was built, that they might cast him down headlong. But he, passing through the midst of them, went his way, and came down to Capharnaum in a city of Galilee, and taught them on the Shabbath days. And they were astonished at his doctrine, for his word was with power. And in the synagogue there was a man who had an unclean spirit, demonion, and cried out with a loud voice, saying, Leave us alone. What do we have to do with you, you Yahusha of Nazareth? Are you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Kadosh of Elohiym. And Yahusha rebuked him, saying, Hold your thoughts, and come out of him. And when the demonion had thrown him in the midst, he came out of him, and did not hurt him. And they were all amazed, and spoke among themselves, saying, What a word is this! For with authority and power he commanded the unclean spirit, and they come out. And the fame of him went out into every place of the country around. And he arose out of the synagogue, and entered into Shimon's house. And Shimon's Guinea's mother was taken with a great fever, and they asked him for her. And he stood over her, and rebuked the fever, and it left her, and immediately she arose and ministered unto them. Now when the sun was setting, all they that had any sick with divers diseases brought them unto him. And he laid his hands on every one of them, and healed them. And demonion also came out of many, crying out, and saying, You are the Mashiach, the Son of Elohiym. And he, rebuking them, did not allow them to speak, for they knew that he was the Mashiach. And when it was day, he departed and went into a desert place. And the people sought him, and came unto him, and withheld him that he should not depart from them. And he said unto them, I must preach the kingdom of Elohiym to other cities also, for therefore I am sent. And he preached in the synagogues of Galilee. Chapter 5. And it came to pass that as the people pressed upon him to hear the word of Elohiym, he stood by the lake of Kinneroth, and saw 2 ships standing by the lake, but the fishermen were gone out of them, and were washing their nets. And he entered into one of the ships that was Shimon's, and prayed him that he would lead out a little from the land. And he sat down and taught the people out of the ship. Now when he had finished speaking, he said unto Shimon, Launch out into the deep, and let down your nets for a catch. And Shimon answering said unto him, Master, we have toiled all night, and have taken nothing. Nevertheless, at your word I will let down the net. And when they had done this, they enclosed a great multitude of fishes, and their net broke. And they nodded down unto their partners who were in the other ship, that they should come and help them. And they came and filled both ships, so that they began to sink. When Shimon Keph saw it, he fell down at Yahusha's knees, saying, Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Adonai. For he was astonished, and all that were with him, at the catch of the fishes which they had taken. And so was also Yaakov and Yochanan, the sons of Zabdi, who were partners with Shimon. And Yahusha said unto Shimon, Do not fear, from now on you shall catch men. And when they had brought their ships to land, they forsook all, and followed him. And it came to pass, when he was in a certain city, behold, a man full of leprosy, who, seeing Yahusha, fell on his face, and implored him, saying, Adonai, if you want, you can make me clean. And he put forth his hand, and touched him, saying, I want, you are clean. And immediately the leprosy departed from him. And he commanded him to tell no man. But go and show yourself to the Kohen, and offer for your cleansing according as Moshe commanded, for a testimony unto them. But so much more his fame spread abroad, and great multitudes came together to hear, and to be healed by him of their infirmities. And he withdrew himself into the wilderness and prayed. And it came to pass on a certain day, as he was teaching, that there were parash and doctors of the law sitting by, who came out of every town of Galilee, and Yehuda, and Jerusalem, and the power of Adonai was present to heal them. And behold, men brought in a bed a man who was taken with a palsy, and they sought means to bring him in, and to lay him before him. And when they could not find by what way they might bring him in because of the multitude, they went upon the housetop, and let him down through the tiling with his bed into the midst before Yahusha. And when he saw their faith, he said unto him, Man, your sins are forgiven you. And the grammatus and the parash began to reason, saying, Who is this that speaks blasphemies? Who can forgive sins but Elohim alone? But when Yahusha perceived their thoughts, he, answering, said unto them, What do you think in your hearts? What is easier to say, Your sins are forgiven you, or to say, Rise up and walk? But that you may know that the Son of Man has power upon earth to forgive sins, he said unto the sick of the palsy, I say unto you, Arise, and take up your bed, and go into your house. And immediately he rose up from before them, and took up that where he lay, and departed to his own house, glorifying Elohiym. And they were all amazed, and they glorified Elohiym, and were filled with fear, saying, We have seen strange things today. And after these things he went forth and saw a tax collector, named Lewi, sitting at the receipt of custom. And he said unto him, Follow me. And he left all, rose up, and followed him. And Lewi made him a great feast in his own house, and there was a great multitude of tax collectors and of others that sat down with them. But their grammatus and parash murmured against his disciples, saying, Why do you eat and drink with tax collectors and sinners? And Yahusha, answering, said unto them, They that are good do not need a physician, but they that are sick. I did not come to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance. And they said unto him, Why do the disciples of Yochanan fast often, and make prayers, and the same the disciples of the parash, but yours eat and drink? And he said unto them, Can you make the children of the bride chamber fast, while the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come, when the bridegroom shall be taken away from them, and then they shall fast in those days. And he spoke also a parable unto them, No man puts a piece of a new cloth upon an old. If otherwise, then both the new makes a rent, and the piece that was taken out of the new does not agree with the old. And no man puts new wine into old bottles, else the new wine will burst the bottles and be spilled, and the bottles shall perish. But new wine must be put into new bottles, and both are preserved. No man also having drunk old wine immediately desires new, for he said, The old is better. Chapter 6. And it came to pass on the second Shabbath after the first Shabbath that he went through the cornfields, and his disciples plucked the ears of corn, and ate, rubbing them in their hands. And certain of the parash said unto them, Why do you do that which is not lawful to do on the Shabbath days? And Yahusha, answering them, said, Have you not read so much as this, what David did when himself was hungry, and they who were with him? How he went into the house of Elohiym, and took and ate the showbread, and gave also unto them that were with him, which it is not lawful to eat, but for the Kohen alone. And he said unto them, that the Son of Man is Adonai also of the Shabbath. And it came to pass also on another Shabbath that he entered into the synagogue and taught. And there was a man whose right hand was withered, and the grammatus and parash watched him, if he would heal on the Shabbath day, that they might find an accusation against him. But he knew their thoughts, and said to the man who had the withered hand, Rise up, and stand forth in the midst. And he arose and stood forth. Then Yahusha said unto them, I will ask you one thing. Is it lawful on the Shabbath days to do good or to do evil, to save life or to destroy it? And looking around upon them all, he said unto the man, Stretch forth your hand. And he did so, and his hand was restored whole as the other. And they were filled with madness, and conversed one with another what they might do to Yahusha. And it came to pass in those days that he went out into a mountain to pray, and continued all night in prayer to Elohiym. And when it was day, he called unto him his disciples, and of them he chose 12, whom also he named apostolos: Shimon, whom he also named Keph, and Andreas his brother, Yaakov and Yochanan, Philippos and Bartolome, Mattathiahu and Theom, Yaakov the son of Alphaeus, and Shimon called Zelotes, and Yehuda the brother of Yaakov, and Yehuda Ishkariah, who was also the traitor. And he came down with them, and stood in the plain, and the multitude of his disciples, and a great multitude of people out of all Yehuda and Jerusalem, and from the sea coast of Tzor and Sidon, who came to hear him, and to be healed of their diseases. And they that were vexed with unclean spirit, and they were healed. And the whole multitude wanted to touch him, for there went virtue out of him, and healed them all. And he lifted up his eyes on his disciples, and said, Barak the poor, for yours is the kingdom of Elohiym. Barak are the ones that are hungry now, for you shall be filled. Barak are the ones that weep now, for you shall laugh. Barak are you when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from the multitude, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice in that day, and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the same way did their fathers unto the prophets. But woe unto you that are rich, for you have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for you shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for you shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. But I say unto you who hear, love your enemies, do good to them who hate you. Barak them that curse you, and pray for them who despitefully use you. And unto him that strikes you on the one cheek, offer also the other. And him that takes away your cloak, do not forbid him to take your coat also. Give to every man that asks of you, and of him that takes away your goods, do not ask them again. And as you want that men should do to you, do you also to them the same. For if you love them who love you, what gratification do you have? For sinners also love those that love them. And if you do well to them who do good to you, what gratification do you have? For sinners also do even the same. And if you lend to them of whom you hope to receive, what gratification do you have? For sinners also lend to sinners, to receive as much again. But love your enemies, and do well, and lend, hoping for nothing again. And your reward shall be great, and ye shall be the children of Elohiym, for he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil. Be you therefore merciful, as your Father also is merciful. Do not judge, and you shall not be judged. Do not condemn, and you shall not be condemned. Forgive, and you shall be forgiven. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over, shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure that you measure, in the same way it shall be measured to you again. And he spoke a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall into the ditch? The disciple is not above his master, but everyone that is perfect shall be as his master. And why do you look at the straw that is in your brother's eye, but do not perceive the beam that is in yours own eye? Either how can you say to your brother, Brother, let me pull out the straw that is in your eye, when you yourself do not look at the beam that is in your own eye? You hypocrite, cast out first the beam out of your own eye, and then you shall see clearly to pull out the straw that is in your brother's eye. For a good tree does not bring forth corrupt fruit, neither does a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. For every tree is known by his own fruit. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of a bramble bush do they gather grapes. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart brings forth that which is evil. For out of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaks. And why do you call me Adonai, Adonai, and do not do the things that I say? Whoever comes to me and hears my sayings and does them, I will show you to whom he is like. He is like a man who built a house and dug deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. But he that hears and does not do is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. Chapter 7. Now, when he had ended all his sayings in the audience of the people, he entered into Capharnaum. And a certain centurion slave, who was dear unto him, was sick and ready to die. And when he heard of Yahusha, he sent unto him the elders of the Yehudi, begging him that he would come and heal his slave. And when they came to Yahusha, they implored him instantly, saying that he was worthy for whom he should do this, for he loves our nation, and he has built us a synagogue. Then Yahusha went with them. And when he was now not far from the house, the centurion sent friends to him, saying unto him, Adonai, do not trouble yourself, for I am not worthy that ye should enter under my roof. Why neither I thought myself worthy to come unto you, but say it a word, and my servant shall be healed. For I also am a man set under authority, having under me soldiers. And I say unto one, Go, and he goes, and to another, Come, and he comes, and to my slave, Do this, and he does it. When Yahusha heard these things, he marveled at him, and turned him about, and said unto the people that followed him, I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Yisra'el. And they that were sent, returning to the house, found the slave healed that had been sick. And it came to pass the day after that he went into a city called Naah, and many of his disciples went with him, and many people. Now, when he came near to the gate of the city, behold, there was a dead man carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow, and many people of the city was with her. And when Adonai saw her, he had compassion on her, and said unto her, Do not weep. And he came and touched the coffin, and they that bare him stood still. And he said, Young man, I say unto you, arise. And he that was dead sat up, and began to speak, and he delivered him to his mother. And there came fear on all, and they glorified Elohiym, saying that a great prophet has risen up among us, and that Elohiym has visited his people. And this rumor of him went forth throughout all Yehudah, and throughout all the region around. And the disciples of Yochanan showed him of all these things. And Yochanan, calling unto him 2 of his disciples, sent them to Yahusha, saying, Are you he that should come, or should we wait for another? When the men came unto him, they said, Yochanan Baptistus has sent us unto you, saying, Are you he that should come, or should we wait for another? And in that same hour he cured many of their infirmities and plagues, and of evil spirits, and unto many that were blind he gave sight. Then Yahusha answering said unto them, Go your way, and tell Yochanan the things you have seen and heard, how that the blind see, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, to the poor the gospel is preached. And Barak is he, whoever shall not be enticed to sin because of me. And when the messengers of Yochanan were departed, he began to speak unto the people concerning Yochanan. What did you go out to see into the wilderness? A reed shaken with the wind? But what did you go out to see? A man clothed in soft cloth? Behold, they who are gorgeously dressed and live delicately are in king's courts. But what did you go out to see? A prophet? Yes, I say unto you, and much more than a prophet. This is he of whom it is written, Behold, I send my messenger before your face, who shall prepare your way before you. For I say unto you, among those that are born of women, there is not a greater prophet than Yochanan the Baptistus, but he that is least in the kingdom of Elohiym is greater than he. And all the people that heard him and the tax collectors justified Elohiym, being baptized with the baptism of Yochanan. But the parash and lawyers rejected the counsel of Elohiym against themselves, not being baptized by him. And Adonai said, To what then shall I compare the men of this generation? And to what are they like? They are like unto children, sitting in the agora's place, and calling one to another, and saying, We have played the flute unto you, and you have not danced. We have mourned to you, and you have not wept. For Yochanan the Baptistus came neither eating bread nor drinking wine, and you say, He has a demonion. The Son of Man has come eating and drinking, and you say, Behold, a gluttonous man, and a winebibber, a friend of tax collectors and sinners. But wisdom is justified of all her children. And one of the parash requested him that he would eat with him, and he went into the parash's house and sat down. And behold, a woman in the city who was a sinner, when she knew that Yahusha sat at the table in the parash's house, brought an alabaster box of ointment, and stood at his feet behind him, weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with the ointment. Now, when the parash who had called him saw it, he spoke within himself, saying, This man, if he were a prophet, would have known who and what kind of woman this is that touches him, for she is a sinner. And Yahusha, answering, said unto him, Shimon, I have something to say unto you. And he said, Master, say on. There was a certain creditor who had 2 debtors. The one owed 500 pence, and the other 50. And when they had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both. Tell me, therefore, which of them will love him most? Shimon answered and said, I suppose that he, to whom he forgave most, and he said unto him, You have rightly judged. And he turned to the woman, and said unto Shimon, Do you see this woman? I entered into your house, you gave me no water for my feet, but she has washed my feet with tears, and wiped them with the hairs of her head. You gave me no kiss, but this woman since the time I came in has not ceased to kiss my feet. My head with oil you did not anoint, but this woman has anointed my feet with ointment. Why, I say unto you, her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved much, but to whom little is forgiven, the same loves little. And he said unto her, Your sins are forgiven. And they that sat at the table with him began to say within themselves, Who is this that forgives sins also? And he said to the woman, Your faith has saved you. Go in peace. Chapter 8. And it came to pass afterward that he went throughout every city and village, preaching and showing the gospel of the kingdom of Elohiym, and the 12 were with him. And certain women, who had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities, Miriam called Magdalene, out of whom went 7 demoniacs, and Jochanan, the Gaini of Chusas, Herod's steward, and Shushan, and many others who ministered unto him of their possession. And when many people were gathered together and came to him out of every city, he spoke by a parable. A sower went out to sow his seed, and as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and it was trodden down, and the fowls of the air devoured it. And some fell upon a rock, and as soon as it was sprung up, it withered away, because it lacked moisture. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprang up with it and choked it. And other fell on good ground, and sprang up and gave fruit 100-fold. And when he had said these things, he cried, He that has ears to hear, let him hear. And his disciples asked him, saying, What might this parable be? And he said, Unto you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Elohiym, but to others in parables, that seeing they might not see, and hearing they might not understand. Now, the parable is this: the seed is the word of Elohiym. Those by the wayside are they that hear. Then comes the diabolos, and takes away the word out of their hearts, lest they should believe and be saved. They on the rock are they who, when they hear, receive the word with joy, and these do not have root, for a while believe, and in time of temptation fall away. And that which fell among thorns are they who, when they have heard, go forth, and are choked with cares and riches and pleasures of this life, and bring no fruit to perfection. But that on the good ground are they, who in an honest and good heart, having heard the word, keep it, and bring forth fruit with patience. No man, when he has lighted a candle, covers it with a vessel, or puts it under a bed, but sets it on a candlestick, that they who enter may see the light. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come public. Take heed, therefore, how you hear, for whoever has, to him shall be given, and whoever does not have, from him shall be taken, even that which he seems to have. Then came to him his mother and his brothers, and could not come at him for the crowd. And it was told him by certain who said, Your mother and your brothers stand out, wanting to see you. And he answered and said unto them, My mother and my brothers are these who hear the word of Elohiym, and do it. Now it came to pass on a certain day that he went into a ship with his disciples, and he said unto them, Let us go over unto the other side of the lake. And they launched forth. But as they sailed, he fell asleep, and there came down a storm of wind on the lake, and they were filled with water, and were in danger. And they came to him, and awoke him, saying, Master, Master, we perish. Then he arose and rebuked the wind and the raging of the water, and they ceased, and there was a calm. And he said unto them, Where is your faith? And they, being afraid, wondered, saying one to another, What kind of man is this? For he commanded even the winds and water, and they obey him. And they arrived at the country of the Gadarenos, which is over against Galilee. And when he went forth to land, there he met out of the city a certain man, who had demonion long time, and wore no clothes, neither stayed in any house, but in the tombs. When he saw Yahusha, he cried out, and fell down before him, and with a loud voice said, What do I have to do with you, Yahusha, you son of Elohim Elyon? I beg you, do not torment me. for he had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man. For oftentimes it had caught him, and he was kept bound with chains and in shackles, and he broke the bands and was driven by the demon into the wilderness. And Yahusha asked him, saying, What is your name? And he said, Legion, because many demonian were entered into him. And they implored him that he would not command them to go out into the deep. And there was there a herd of many swine feeding on the mountain, and they implored him that he would allow them to enter into them, and he allowed them. Then the demonian went out of the man and entered into the swine, and the herd ran violently down a steep place into the lake and were choked. When they that fed them saw what was done, they fled and went and told it in the city and in the country. Then they went out to see what was done, and came to Yahusha, and found the man out of whom the demonian were departed, sitting at the feet of Yahusha, clothed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. They also who saw it told them by what means he that was possessed of the demonizome was healed. Then the whole multitude of the country of the Gadarenos around them implored him to depart from them, for they were taken with great fear. And he went up into the ship and returned back again. Now the man out of whom the demonian were departed implored him that he might be with him. But Yahusha sent him away, saying, Return to your own house, and show how great things Elohiym has done unto you. And he went his way, and published throughout the whole city how great things Yahusha had done unto him. And it came to pass that, when Yahusha was returned, the people gladly received him, for they were all waiting for him. And behold, there came a man named Yair, and he was a ruler of the synagogue, and he fell down at Yahusha's feet, and implored him that he would come into his house. For he had one daughter only, about 12 years of age, and she was dead. But as he went, the people crowded him. And a woman, having an issue of blood 12 years, who had spent all her living upon physicians, neither could be healed by any, came behind him and touched the border of his cloth, and immediately her issue of blood stopped. And Yahusha said, Who touched me? When all denied, Keph and them that were with him said, Master, the multitude crowd you and press you, and you say, Who touched me? And Yahusha said, Somebody has touched me, for I perceive that virtue is gone out of me. And when the woman saw that she was not hid, she came trembling and falling down before him. She declared unto him before all the people for what cause she had touched him, and how she was healed immediately. And he said unto her, Daughter, have courage, your faith has healed. Go in peace. While he yet spoke, there came one from the ruler of the synagogue's house, saying to him, Your daughter is dead. Do not trouble the master. But when Yahusha heard it, he answered him, saying, Do not fear, believe only, and she shall be saved. And when he came into the house, he allowed no man to go in, save Keph and Yaakov and Yochanan, and the father and the mother of the girl. And all wept and mourned her. But he said, Do not weep, she is not dead, but asleep. And they laughed him to scorn, knowing that she was dead. And he put them all out, and took her by the hand, and called, saying, Girl, arise. And her spirit came again, and she arose immediately, and he commanded to give her food. And her parents were astonished, but he commanded them that they should tell no man what was done. Chapter 9. Then he called his 12 disciples together, and gave them power and authority over all demonion, and to cure diseases. And he sent them to preach the kingdom of Elohiym, and to heal the sick. And he said unto them, Take nothing for your journey, neither staves nor scrip, neither bread, neither money, neither have 2 coats apiece. And whatever house you enter into, there stay, and there depart. And whoever will not receive you, when you go out of that city, shake off the very dust from your feet for a testimony against them. And they departed, and went through the towns, preaching the gospel and healing everywhere. Now Herodes the tetrarch heard of all that was done by him, and he was perplexed, because that it was said by some that Yochanan was risen from the dead, and of some that Eliyahu had appeared, and of others that one of the old prophets was risen again. And Herodes said, Yochanan I have beheaded, but who is this, of whom I hear such things? And he desired to see him. And the apostolos, when they were returned, told him all that they had done. And he took them, and went aside privately into a desert place belonging to the city called Bethsaid. And the people, when they knew it, followed him. And he received them and spoke unto them of the kingdom of Elohiym, and healed them that had need of healing. And when the day began to wear away, then came the 12, and said unto him, Send the multitude away, that they may go into the towns and country around, and lodge and get provisions, for we are here in a desert place. But he said unto them, You give them to eat. And they said, We have no more but 5 loaves and 2 fishes, except we should go and buy food for all this people. For they were about 5,000 men. And he said to his disciples, Make them sit down by 50s in a multitude. And they did so, and made them all sit down. Then he took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he baraked them, and broke, and gave to the disciples to set before the multitude. And they ate, and were all filled, and there was taken up of fragments that remained to them 12 baskets. And it came to pass, as he was alone praying, his disciples were with him, and he asked them, saying, Whom do the people say that I am? They answering said, Yochanan the Baptistus, but some say Eliyahu, and others say that one of the old prophets is risen again. He said unto them, But whom do you say that I am? Keph answering said, The Mashiach of Elohiym. And he straitly admonished them, and commanded them to tell no man that thing, saying, The Son of Man must suffer many things, and be rejected by the elders and chief Kohen and Grammatus, and be killed, and be raised the 3rd day. And he said to them all, If any man will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his stake daily, and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it. For what is a man advantage if he gain the whole world, and lose himself, or be cast away? For whoever shall be ashamed of me and of my words, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed, when he shall come in his own glory, and in his Father's, and of the Kodesh angels. But I tell you the truth, there are some standing here who shall not taste of death till they see the kingdom of Elohiym. And it came to pass, about 8 days after these sayings, he took Keph and Yochanan and Yaakov, and went up into a mountain to pray. And as he prayed, the view of his face was altered, and his cloth was white and glistening. And behold, there talked with him 2 men, who were Moshe and Eliyahu, who appeared in glory, and spoke of his death, which he should accomplish at Jerusalem. But Keph and they that were with him were heavy with sleep. And when they were awake, they saw his glory, and the 2 men that stood with him. And it came to pass, as they departed from him, Keph said unto Yahusha, Master, it is good for us to be here, and let us make 3 tabernacles, one for you, and one for Moshe, and one for Eliyahu, not knowing what he said. While he thus spoke, there came a cloud and overshadowed them, and they feared as they entered into the cloud. And there came a voice out of the cloud, saying, This is my beloved Son, hear him. And when the voice was past, Yahusha was found alone. And they kept it close, and told no man in those days any of those things which they had seen. And it came to pass that on the next day, when they came down from the hill, many people met him. And behold, a man of the multitude cried out, saying, Master, I beg you, look upon my son, for he is my only child. And lo, a spirit takes him, and he suddenly cries out, and it tears him that he foams again, and bruising him hardly departs from him. And I implore your disciples to cast him out, and they could not. And Yahusha answering said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you, and put up with you? Bring your son here. And as he was yet a-coming, the demonion threw him down, and tare him, and Yahusha rebuked the unclean spirit, and healed the child, and delivered him again to his father. And they were all amazed at the mighty power of Elohiym. But while they wondered every one at all the things that Yahusha did, he said unto his disciples, Let these sayings sink down into your ears, for the Son of Man shall be delivered into the hands of men. But they did not understand this saying, and it was hid from them, that they did not perceive it, and they feared to ask him of that saying. Then there arose a debate among them, which of them should be greatest. And Yahusha, perceiving the thought of their heart, took a child, and set him by him, and said unto them, Whoever shall receive this child in my name receives me, and whoever shall receive me receives him that sent me. For he that is least among you all, the same shall be great. And Yochanan answered and said, Master, we saw one casting out demonion in your name, and we forbade him, because he does not follow us. And Yahusha said unto him, Do not forbid him, for he that is not against us is with us. And it came to pass, when the time was come for his ascension, he turned resolutely to go to Jerusalem, and sent messengers before his face, and they went and entered into a village of the Shomeron to make ready for him. And they did not receive him, because his face was as though he would go to Jerusalem. And when his disciples, Yaakov and Yochanan, saw this, they said, Adonai, do you want us to command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, even as Eliyahu did? But he turned and rebuked them, and said, You do not know what kind of spirit you are. For the Son of Man has not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them. And they went to another village. And it came to pass that as they went in the way, a certain man said unto them, Adonai, I will follow you wherever you go. And Yahusha said unto him, Foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man does not have where to lay his head. And he said unto another, Follow me. But he said, Adonai, allow me first to go and bury my father. Yahusha said unto him, Let the dead bury their dead, but you go and preach the kingdom of Elohiym. And another also said, Adonai, I will follow you, but let me first go bid them farewell who are at home at my house. And Yahusha said unto him, No man, having put his hand to the plow, and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of Elohiym. Chapter 10. After these things Adonai appointed 70 also, and sent them 2 and 2 before his face into every city and place where he himself would come. Therefore he said unto them, The harvest truly is great, but the workers are few. You pray therefore the master of the harvest that he would send forth workers into his harvest. Go your ways. Behold, I send you forth as lambs among wolves. Carry neither purse nor scrip nor shoes, and salute no man by the way. And into whatever house you enter, first say, Peace be to this house. And if the Son of Peace is there, your peace shall rest upon it. If not, it shall turn to you again. And in the same house remain, eating and drinking such things as they give, for the hard worker is worthy of his wages. Do not go from house to house. And into whatever city you enter, and they receive you, eat such things as are set before you, and heal the sick that are there, and say unto them, The kingdom of Elohiym has come near unto you. But into whatever city you enter, and they do not receive you, go your ways out into the streets of the same, and say, Even the very dust of your city, which cleaves on us, we do wipe off against you. But you are such of this, that the kingdom of Elohiym has come near unto you. But I say unto you, that it shall be more tolerable in that day for Sodom than for that city. Woe unto you, Chorazin! Woe unto you, Bethsaida! For if the mighty works had been done in Sor and Sidon, which have been done in you, they had a great while ago repented, sitting in sackcloth and ashes. But it shall be more tolerable for Sor and Sidon at the judgment than for you. And you, Capharnaum, which are exalted to heaven, shall be thrust down to Hades. He that hears you hears me, and he that despises you despises me, and he that despises me despises him that sent me. And the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Adonai, even the demonian are subject unto us through your name. And he said unto them, I saw the accuser as lightning fall from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. But in this do not rejoice, that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice, because your names are written in heaven. In that hour Yahusha rejoiced in spirit, and said, I thank you, Father Yahuah of heaven and earth, that you have hid these things from the wise and prudent, and have revealed them unto babes. Even so, Father, for so it seemed good in your sight. All things are delivered to me by my Father, and no man knows who the Son is but the Father, and who the Father is but the Son, and he to whom the Son will reveal him. And he turned him unto his disciples, and said privately, Barak are the eyes who see the things that you see. For I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see those things which you see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them. And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? He said unto him, What is written in the law? How do you read it? And he, answering, said, You shall love Yahuah your Elohiym with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. And he said unto him, You have answered right. Do this, and you shall live. But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Yahusha, And who is my neighbor? And Yahusha answering said, A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and fell among thieves, who stripped him of his clothes, and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain Kohen that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And the same Elohiym, when he was at the place, came and looked on him, and passed by on the other side. But a certain Shomeron, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him, and went to him, and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of him. And the next day, when he departed, he took out 2 pence, and gave them to the host, and said unto him, Take care of him, and whatever you spend more, when I come again I will repay you. Which now of these 3 do you think was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And he said, He that showed mercy on him. Then Yahusha said unto him, Go, and you do the same. Now it came to pass, as they went, that he entered into a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received him into her house. And she had a sister called Miriam, who also sat at Yahusha's feet, and heard his word. But Martha was distracted about much serving, and came to him, and said, Adonai, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her therefore that she help me. And Yahusha answered and said unto her, Martha, Martha, you are careful and troubled about many things, but one thing is needful, and Miriam has chosen that good part, which shall not be taken away from her. Chapter 11. And it came to pass that, as he was praying in a certain place, when he ceased, one of his disciples said unto him, Adonai, teach us to pray, as Yochanan also taught his disciples. And he said unto them, When you pray, say, Our Father who is in heaven, sanctified be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, as in heaven, so in earth. Give us day by day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, for we also forgive everyone that is indebted to us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And he said unto them, Who of you shall have a friend, and shall go unto him at midnight, and say unto him, Friend, lend me 3 loaves? For a friend of mine in his journey has come to me, and I have nothing to set before him. And he from within shall answer and say, Do not trouble me, the door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed. I cannot rise and give you. I say unto you, though he will not rise and give him, because he is his friend, yet because of his importunity he will rise and give him as many as he needs. And I say unto you, Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asks, receive, and he that seeks, find, and to him that knocks, it shall be opened. If a son shall ask bread of any of you that is a father, will he give him a stone? Or if he ask a fish, will he for a fish give him a serpent? Or if he shall ask an egg, will he offer him a scorpion? If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your heavenly Father give the Ruach Kodesh to them that ask him? And he was casting out a demonion, and it was dumb. And it came to pass, when the demonion was gone out, the dumb spoke, and the people wondered. But some of them said, He casts out demonion through Baal-zebub, the chief of the demonion. And others, tempting him, sought of him a sign from heaven. But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought desolation, and a house divided against a house falls. If the accuser also is divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? Because you say that I cast out demonion through Baal-zebub. And if I, by Baal-zebub, cast out demonion, by whom do your sons cast them out? Therefore they shall be your judges. But if I, with the finger of Elohiym, cast out demonion, no doubt the kingdom of Elohiym has come upon you. When a strong-armed man keeps his palace, his goods are in peace. But when a stronger than he shall come upon him and overcome him, he takes from him all his armor where he trusted and divides his spoils. He that is not with me is against me, and he that does not gather with me scatters. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walks through dry places, seeking rest. And finding none, he said, I will return unto my house where I came out. And when he comes, he finds it swept and garnished. Then he goes and takes with him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there, and the last state of that man is worse than the first. And it came to pass, as he spoke these things, a certain woman of the multitude lifted up her voice and said unto him, Barak is the womb that bare you, and the breast which you have sucked. But he said, Yes, rather Barak are they that hear the word of Elohiym and keep it. And when the people were gathered thick together, he began to say, This is an evil generation. They seek a sign, and there shall no sign be given it, but the sign of Yonah the prophet. For as Yonah was a sign unto the Nineveh, so shall also the Son of Man be to this generation. The queen of the south shall rise up in the judgment with the men of this generation and condemn them. For she came from the utmost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Shalomo, and behold, a greater than Shalomo is here. The men of Nineveh shall rise up in the judgment with this generation, and shall condemn it, for they repented at the preaching of Yonah, and behold, a greater than Yonah is here. No man, when he has lighted a candle, puts it in a secret place, neither under a bushel, but on a candlestick, that they who come in may see the light. The light of the body is the eye. Therefore, when your eye is clear, your whole body is also full of light. But when your eye is evil, your body also is full of darkness. Take heed, therefore, that the light which is in you is not darkness. If your whole body, therefore, is full of light, having no dark part, the whole shall be full of light, as when the bright shining of a candle does give you light. And as he spoke, a certain Parash implored him to dine with him, and he went in and sat down at the table. And when the Parash saw it, he marveled that he had not first washed before dinner. And Adonai said unto him, Now you, Parash, make clean the outside of the cup and the platter, but your inward part is full of ravening and wickedness. You fools, did not he that made that which is out make that which is within also? But rather give alms of such things as you have, and behold, all things are clean unto you. But woe unto you, Parash, for you tithe mint and rue and all kinds of herbs, and pass over judgment and the love of Elohiym. These you should have done, and not to leave the other undone. Woe unto you, Parash, for you love the uppermost seats in the synagogues and greetings in the agora. Woe unto you, Grammatus and Parash, hypocrites, for you are as graves which appear not, and the men that walk over them are not aware of them. Then answered one of the lawyers, and said unto him, Master, thus you saying, reproach us also. And he said, Woe unto you also, you lawyers, for you load men with burdens and grievous to be borne, and you yourselves do not touch the burdens with one of your fingers. Woe unto you, for you build the sepulchres of the prophets, and your fathers killed them. Truly you bear witness that you allow the deeds of your fathers, for they indeed killed them, and you built their sepulchres. Therefore, said also the wisdom of Elohiym, I will send them prophets and apostolos, and some of them they shall kill and persecute, that the blood of all the prophets that was shed from the foundation of the world may be required of this generation. From the blood of Hebel unto the blood of Zechariah, who perished between the altar and the temple. Truly I say unto you, it shall be required of this generation. Woe unto you, lawyers, for you have taken away the key of knowledge. You do not enter in yourselves, and them that were entering in you stopped. And as he said these things unto them, the Grammatus and the Parash began to urge him vehemently, and to provoke him to speak of many things, plotting against him, and seeking to catch something out of his mouth, that they might accuse him. Chapter 12. In the meantime, when there were gathered together an innumerable multitude of people, insomuch that they trode one upon another, he began to say unto his disciples, First of all, you beware of the leaven of the Parash, which is hypocrisy. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatever you have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which you have spoken in the ear in the closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetops. And I say unto you, my friends, do not be afraid of them that kill the body, and after that have no more that they can do. But I will instruct you whom you shall fear. Fear him, after he has killed, has power to cast you into Gehenna. Yes, I say unto you, fear him. Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 farthings, and not one of them is forgotten before Elohiym? And even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Do not fear, therefore. You are of more value than many sparrows. Also I say unto you, whoever shall confess me before men, him shall the Son of Man also confess before the angels of Elohiym. But he that denies me before men shall be denied before the angels of Elohiym. And whoever shall speak a word against the Son of Man, it shall be forgiven him. But unto him that blaspheme against the Ruach Kodesh, it shall not be forgiven. And when they bring you unto the synagogues and unto magistrates and powers, do not be anxious how or what thing you shall answer, or what you shall say. For the Ruach Kodesh shall teach you in the same hour what you should say. And one of the multitude said unto him, Master, speak to my brother, that he divides the inheritance with me. And he said unto him, Man, who made me a judge or a divider over you? And he said unto him, Take heed, and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consists not in the abundance of the things which he possesses. And he spoke a parable unto them, saying, The ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, What shall I do, because I have no room where to collect my fruits? And he said, This I will do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there I will collect all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, Soul, you have much goods laid up for many years. Take it ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But Elohiym said unto him, You fool, this night your soul shall be required of you. Then whose shall those things be which you have provided? So is he that lays up treasure for himself and is not rich toward Elohiym. And he said unto his disciples, Therefore I say unto you, do not be anxious for your life, what you shall eat, neither for the body, what you shall put on. The life is more than food, and the body is more than cloth. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse nor barn, and Elohiym feeds them. How much more are you better than the fowls? And which of you, with being anxious, can add to his stature 1 cubit? If you then are not able to do that thing which is least, why are you anxious for the rest? Consider the lilies, how they grow. They do not toil, they do not spin, and yet I say unto you that Shalomo in all his glory was not clothed like one of these. If then Elohiym so clothe the grass, which is today in the field, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O you of little faith? And do not seek what you shall eat, or what you shall drink, neither be anxious. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knows that you have need of these things. But rather seek the kingdom of Elohiym, and all these things shall be added unto you. Do not fear, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell what you have and give alms. Provide yourselves bags that do not wax old, a treasure in the heavens that does not fail, where no thief approaches, neither moth corrupts. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Let your loins be girded about, and your lights burning, and you yourselves like unto men that wait for their Adonai, when he will return from the wedding, that when he comes and knocks, they may open unto him immediately. Barak are those slaves, whom the master, when he comes, shall find watching. Truly I say unto you, that he shall gird himself, and make them to sit down at the table, and will come forth and serve them. And if he shall come in the 2nd watch, or come in the 3rd watch, and find them so, Barak are those slaves. And this know, that if the good man of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched, and not have allowed his house to be broken through. Be you therefore ready also, for the Son of Man comes at an hour when you do not think. Then Keph said unto him, Adonai, you speak this parable unto us, or even to all. And Adonai said, Who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his master shall make ruler over his household, to give them their portion of food in due season? Barak is that slave, whom his master, when he comes, shall find so doing. Truly I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he has. And if that slave say in his heart, My master delays his coming, and shall begin to beat the men servants and maidens, and to eat and drink, and to be drunken, the master of that slave will come in a day when he does not look for him, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him off, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. And that slave, who knew his master's will, and did not prepare himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he that did not know, and did commit things worthy of stripes, shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomever much is given, of him shall be much required. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. I have come to send fire on the earth, and what I want, if it is already kindled? But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how I am straitened till it is accomplished. You think that I have come to give peace on earth? I tell you, no, but rather division. For from now on there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother, the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And he said also to the people, When you see a cloud rise out of the west, immediately you say, There comes a thunderstorm, and so it is. And when you see the south wind blow, you say, There will be heat, and it comes to pass. You hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that you do not discern this time? Yes, and why even of yourselves do you not judge what is right? When you go with your accuser to the magistrate as you are in the way, give diligence that you may be delivered from him, lest he drag you down to the judge, and the judge deliver you to the officer, and the officer cast you into prison. I tell you, you shall not depart there till you have paid the very last small coin. Chapter 13. There were present at that time some that told him of the Galil, whose blood Pilatus had mingled with their sacrifices. And Yahusha, answering, said unto them, Do you think that these Galil were sinners above all the Galil, because they allowed such things? I tell you, no, but except you repent, you shall all the same perish. Or those 18, upon whom the tower of Siloam fell, and killed them, do you think that they were sinners above all men that dwelt in Jerusalem? I tell you, no, but except you repent, you shall all the same perish. He spoke also this parable. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came and sought fruit thereon, and found none. Then he said unto the dresser of his vineyard, Behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit on this fig tree, and find none. Cut it down. Why is it wasting ground? And he answering said unto him, Master, let it alone this year also, till I shall dig about it and dung it. And if it bear fruit, well, and if not, then after you shall cut it down. And he was teaching in one of the synagogues on the Shabbath. And behold, there was a woman who had a spirit of infirmity 18 years, and was bent forward, and could not entirely unbend herself. And when Yahusha saw her, he called her to him, and said unto her, Woman, you are free from your infirmity. And he laid his hands on her, and immediately she was made straight, and glorified Elohiym. And the ruler of the synagogue answered with indignation, because Yahusha had healed on the Shabbath day, and said unto the people, There are 6 days in which men should work, in them therefore come and be healed, and not on the Shabbath day. Adonai then answered him and said, You hypocrite, does not each one of you on the Shabbath day loose his ox or his ass from the stall, and lead him away to watering? And should not this woman, being a daughter of Abraham, whom the accuser has bound, lo, these 18 years, be free from this bond on the Shabbath day? And when he had said these things, all his adversaries were ashamed, and all the people rejoiced for all the glorious things that were done by him. Then he said, Unto what is the kingdom of Elohiym like? And to what shall I compare it? It is like a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and cast into his garden, and it grew and waxed a great tree, and the fowls of the air lodged in the branches of it. And again he said, To what shall I compare the kingdom of Elohiym? It is like leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal, till the whole was leavened. And he went through the cities and villages, teaching and journeying toward Jerusalem. Then said one unto him, Adonai, are there few that shall be saved? And he said unto them, Strive to enter in at the strait gate, for many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in, and shall not be able. When once the master of the house is risen up, and has shut to the door, and you begin to stand out, and to knock at the door, saying, Adonai, Adonai, open unto us, and he shall answer and say unto you, I do not where you from. Then you shall begin to say, We have eaten and drunk in your presence, and you have taught in our streets. But he shall say, I tell you, I do not know you where you are from. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth, when you shall see Abraham and Yitzhak and Yaakov and all the prophets in the kingdom of Elohiym, and you cast yourselves out. And they shall come from the east, and from the west, and from the north, and from the south, and shall sit down in the kingdom of Elohiym. And behold, there are last who shall be first, and there are first who shall be last. The same day came there a certain of the Parash, saying unto him, Go away, and depart from here, for Herodes will kill you. And he said unto them, You go, and tell that fox, Behold, I cast out demonian, and I keep healing today and tomorrow, and the third day I shall be completed. Nevertheless, I must walk today and tomorrow, and the day following, for it cannot be that a prophet perish out of Jerusalem. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, which kill the prophets, and stone them that are sent unto you. How often I wanted to have gathered your children together, as a hen gathers her brood under her wings, and you did not want. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate, and truly I say unto you, you shall not see me until the time come when you shall say, Barak is he that comes in the name of Yahuah. Chapter 14. And it came to pass, as he went into the house of one of the chief Parash, to eat bread on the Shabbath day, that they watched him. And behold, there was a certain man before him who had the edema. And Yahusha, answering, spoke unto the lawyers and Parash, saying, Is it lawful to heal on the Shabbath day? And they kept quiet, and he took him, and healed him, and let him go. And answered them, saying, Which of you shall have an ass or an ox fallen into a pit, and will not immediately pull him out on the Shabbath day? And they could not answer him again to these things. And he put forth a parable to those who were called, when he marked how they chose out the chief rooms, saying unto them, When you are called of any man to a wedding, do not sit down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than you is called of him. And he that called you and him come and say to you, Give this man place, and you begin with shame to take the lowest room. But when you are called, go and sit down in the lowest room, that when he that called you comes, he may say unto you, Friend, go up higher. Then you shall have worship in the presence of them that sit at the table with you. For whoever exalts himself shall be humbled, and he that humbles himself shall be exalted. Then he said also to him that called him, When you make a best meal or a supper, do not call your friends, nor your brothers, neither your kinsmen, nor your rich neighbors, lest they also call you again, and a recompense be made. But when you make a feast, call the poor, the maimed, the lame, and the blind. And you shall be Barak, for they cannot recompense you. For you shall be recompensed at the resurrection of the just. And when one of them that sat at the table with him heard these things, he said unto him, Barak is he that shall eat bread in the kingdom of Elohiym. Then he said unto him, A certain man made a great supper, and called many, and sent his slaves at supper time to say to them that were called, Come, for all things are now ready. And they all with one consent began to make excuse. The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must go out and see it. I pray you have me excused. And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray you have me excused. And another said, I have married a Guinea, and therefore I cannot come. So that servant came and showed his master these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, Go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the cities, and bring in hither the poor, and the maimed, and the cripple, and the blind. And the slave said, Master, it is done as you have commanded, and yet there is room. And the master said unto the slave, Go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. For I say unto you, that none of those men who were called shall taste of my supper. And there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, If any man come to me, and does not detest his father, and mother, and gynee, and children, and brothers, and sisters, yes, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And whoever does not bear his stake, and come after me, cannot be my disciple. For which of you, intending to build a tower, does not sit down first, and count the cost, if he have sufficient to finish it? Peradventure, after he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that saw it begin to mock him, saying, This man began to build and was not able to finish. Or what king, going to make war against another king, does not sit down first and consult if he is able with 10,000 to meet him that come against him with 20,000? Or else, while the other is yet a great way off, he sends an ambassador and desires conditions of peace. So the same, whoever he is of you that does not forsake all that he has, he cannot be my disciple. Salt is good, but if the salt have lost his savor, with what shall it be seasoned? It is neither fit for the land, nor yet for the dunghill, but men cast it out. He that has ears to hear, let him hear. Chapter 15. Then came near unto him all the tax collectors and sinners to hear him. And the Parash and Grammatus murmured, saying, This man receives sinners and eats with them. And he spoke this parable unto them, saying, What man of you, having 100 sheep, if he lose one of them, does not leave the 99 in the wilderness, and go after that which is lost, until he find it? And when he has found it, he lays it on his shoulders, rejoicing. And when he comes home, he calls together his friends and neighbors, saying unto them, Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep that was lost. I say unto you, that the same joy shall be in heaven over one sinner that repents, more than over 99 just persons that do not need repentance. Either what woman, having 10 pieces of silver, if she lose one piece, does not light a candle and sweep the house, and seek diligently till she find it? And when she has found it, she calls her friends and her neighbors together, saying, Rejoice with me, for I have found the piece that I had lost. The same, I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the angels of Elohiym over one sinner that repents. And he said, A certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falls to me. And he divided unto them his living. And not many days after, the younger son gathered all together, and took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his possession with riotous living. And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in that land, and he began to be in need. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and sent him into his fields to feed swine. And he longed for to have filled his belly with the husks that the swine ate, and no man gave unto him. And when he came to himself, he said, How many hired servants of my father's have bread enough and to spare, and I perish with hunger? I will arise and go to my father, and will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no more worthy to be called your son. Make me as one of your hired servants. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him, and had compassion, and ran and fell on his neck, and kissed him. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven, and in your sight, and am no more worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his slaves, Bring forth the best robe, and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand, and shoes on his feet. And bring here the fatted calf, and kill it, and let us eat, and be merry. For this my son was dead, and is alive again. He was lost, and is found. And they began to be merry. Now his elder son was in the field, and as he came and approached near the house, he heard music and dancing. And he called one of the servants, and asked what these things meant. And he said unto him, Your brother has come, and your father has killed the fatted calf, because he has received him safe and sound. And he was angry, and would not go in. Therefore his father came out and entreated him. And he, answering, said to his father, Lo, these many years I serve you, neither have I transgressed at any time your commandment. And yet you never gave me a goat, that I might make merry with my friends. But as soon as this your son was come, who has devoured your living with harlots, you have killed for him the fatted calf. And he said unto him, Son, you are always with me, and all that I have is yours. It was necessary that we should rejoice and be glad, for this your brother was dead, and is alive again, and was lost, and is found. Chapter 16. And he said also unto his disciples, There was a certain rich man who had a steward, and the same was accused unto him that he had wasted his goods. And he called him, and said unto him, How is it that I hear this of you? Give an account of your stewardship, for you may no longer be steward. Then the steward said within himself, What shall I do? For my master takes away from me the stewardship. I cannot dig, to beg I am ashamed. I know what I will do, that when I am put out of the stewardship, they may receive me into their houses. So he called every one of his master's debtors unto him, and said unto the first, How much do you owe unto my master? And he said, 100 measures of oil. And he said unto him, Take your bill, and sit down quickly, and write 50. Then he said to another, And how much do you owe? And he said, 100 measures of wheat. And he said unto him, Take your bill, and write 80. And the master commended the unjust steward, because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. And I say unto you, Make yourselves friends of the mammonas of unrighteousness, that when you fail, they may receive you into everlasting habitations. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much, and he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. If therefore you have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammonas, who will commit to your trust the true riches? And if you have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own? No servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Elohiym and Mammonas. And the Parash also, who were covetous, heard all these things, and they ridiculed him. And he said unto them, You are they who justify yourselves before men, but Elohiym knows your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of Elohiym. The law and the prophets were until Yochanan. Since that time, the kingdom of Elohiym is preached, and every man sees it. And it is easier for heaven and earth to pass than one tittle of the law to fail. Whoever puts away his gainee and marries another commits adultery, and whoever marries her that is put away from her man commits adultery. There was a certain rich man who was clothed in purple and fine linen, and rejoiced sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Eleazar, who was laid at his gate, full of sores, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs that fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. And it came to pass that the beggar died, and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died, and was buried. And in Hades he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and saw Abraham afar off, and Eleazar in his bosom. And he cried, and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Eleazar, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember that you in your lifetime received your good things, and the same Eleazar evil things. But now he is comforted, and you are tormented. And beside all this, between us and you there is a great gulf fixed, so that they who want to pass from here to you cannot, neither can they pass to us from there. Then he said, I pray you therefore, Father, that you would send him to my father's house. For I have 5 brothers, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment. Abraham said unto him, They have Moshe and the prophets, let them hear them. And he said, No, Father Abraham, but if one go unto them from the dead, they will repent. And he said unto them, If they do not hear Moshe and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. Chapter 17. Then he said unto the disciples, It is impossible but that occasion to fall will come, but woe unto him through whom they come. It were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and he cast into the sea, than that he should entice to sin one of these little ones. Take heed to yourselves. If your brother sin against you, rebuke him, and if he repents, forgive him. And if he sin against you 7 times in a day, and 7 times in a day turn again to you, saying, I repent, ye shall forgive him. And the apostolos said unto Adonai, Increase our faith. And Adonai said, If you had faith as a grain of mustard seed, you might say unto this shacham, plucked up by the root, and be planted in the sea, and it should obey you. But which of you, having a slave plowing or feeding cattle, will say unto him straightway, when he has come from the field, Go and sit down at the table, and will not rather say unto him, Make ready that I may have supper, and prepare yourself, and serve me till I have eaten and drunken, and afterward you shall eat and drink? Does he give thanks, that slave, because he did the things that were commanded him? I do not think so. So the same to you, when you shall have done all those things which are commanded you, say, We are useless slaves, we have done that which was our duty to do. And it came to pass, as he went to Jerusalem, that he passed through the midst of Shomaron and Galil. And as he entered into a certain village, there he met 10 men that were lepers, who stood afar off. And they lifted up their voice and said, Yahusha, Master, have mercy on us. And when he saw them, he said unto them, Go show yourselves unto the Kohen. And it came to pass that as they went, they were cleansed. And one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back, and with a loud voice glorified Elohiym. And he fell down on his face at his feet, giving him thanks, and he was a Shomaron. And Yahusha answering said, Were there not 10 cleansed? But where are the 9? They are not found that returned to give glory to Elohiym, save this stranger. And he said unto him, Arise, go your way, your faith has saved you. And when he was demanded of the parash, when the kingdom of Elohiym should come, he answered them and said, The kingdom of Elohiym does not come with ocular evidence. Neither shall they say, Lo here, or Lo there, for, behold, the kingdom of Elohiym is within you. And he said unto the disciples, The days will come when you shall long to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and you shall not see it. And they shall say to you, See here, or See there. Do not go after them, nor follow them. For as the lightning that lightens out of the one part under heaven shines unto the other part under heaven, so shall also the Son of Man be in his day. But first he must suffer many things and be rejected of this generation. And as it was in the days of Noah, so it shall be also in the days of the Son of Man. They ate, they drank, they married, they were given in wedding until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. The same also as it was in the days of Lot. They ate, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they built. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven, and destroyed them all. Even thus it shall be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. In that day he who shall be upon the housetop, and his stuff in the house, does not let him come down to take it away. And he that is in the field, do not let him the same return back. Remember Lot's gynee. Whoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. I tell you, in that night there shall be 2 men in one bed, the one shall be taken, and the other shall be left. 2 women shall be grinding together, the one shall be taken, and the other left. 2 men shall be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. And they answered and said unto him, Where, Adonai? And he said unto them, Wherever the body is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Chapter 18. And he spoke a parable unto them, that they should always to pray and not to be weary, saying, There was in a city a judge, who did not fear Elohiym, neither respected man. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, Avenge me of my adversary. And he did not want for a while, but afterward he said within himself, Though I do not fear Elohiym, nor respect man, yet because this widow troubles me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. And Adonai said, Hear what the unjust judge said. And shall not Elohiym avenge his own elect, who cry day and night unto him, though he is patient with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man comes, shall he find faith on the earth? And he spoke this parable unto certain who trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. 2 men went up into the temple to pray, the one a parash, the other a tax collector. The parash stood and prayed thus with himself, Elohiym, I thank you that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this tax collector. I fast twice in the week, I give tithes of all that I possess. And the tax collector, standing afar off, would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven, but stroke upon his breast, saying, Elohiym, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalts himself shall be humbled, and he that humbles himself shall be exalted. And they brought unto him also infants, that he would touch them. But when his disciples saw it, they rebuked them. But Yahusha called them unto him, and said, Let the little children come unto me, and do not forbid them, for of such is the kingdom of Elohiym. Truly I say unto you, whoever shall not receive the kingdom of Elohiym as a little child shall in no wise enter in. And a certain ruler asked him, saying, Good master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? And Yahusha said unto him, Why do you call me good? No one is good, save one, that is Elohiym. You know the commandments, do not commit adultery, do not kill, do not steal, do not bear false witness, honor your father and your mother. And he said, All these things have I kept from my youth up. Now when Yahusha heard these things, he said unto him, Yet you lack one thing. Sell all that you have, and distribute unto the poor, and ye shall have treasure in heaven, and come, follow me. And when he heard this, he was very sorrowful, for he was very rich. And when Yahusha saw that he was very sorrowful, he said, How hardly shall they that have riches enter into the kingdom of Elohiym? For it is easier for a camel to go through the needle's eye gate than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of Elohiym. And they that heard it said, Who then can be saved? And he said, The things which are impossible with men are possible with Elohiym. Then Keph said, Lo, we have left all and followed you. And he said unto them, Truly I say unto you, there is no man that has left house or parents or brothers or gynee or children for the kingdom of Elohim's sake, who shall not receive many more in this present time, and in the world to come everlasting life. Then he took unto him the 12, and said unto them, Behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and all things that are written by the prophets concerning the Son of Man shall be accomplished. For he shall be delivered unto the Gentiles, and shall be mocked, and spitefully entreated, and spitted on. And they shall scourge him, and put him to death, and the 3rd day he shall rise again. And they did not understand any of these things, and this saying was hid from them, neither had they known the things which were spoken. And it came to pass that as he was come near to Jericho, a certain blind man sat by the wayside begging. And hearing the multitude pass by, he asked what it meant. And they told him that Yahusha of Nazareth passes by. And he cried, saying, Yahusha, you son of David, have mercy on me. And they who went before rebuked him, that he should keep silence. But he cried so much more, You son of David, have mercy on me. And Yahusha stood and commanded him to be brought unto him. And when he was come near, he asked him, saying, What do you want that I shall do unto you? And he said, Adonai, that I may receive my sight. And Yahusha said unto him, Receive your sight, your faith has saved you. And immediately he received his sight, and followed him, glorifying Elohiym. And all the people, when they saw it, gave praise unto Elohiym. Chapter 19. And Yahusha entered and passed through Jericho. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, who was the chief among the tax collectors, and he was rich. And he sought to see who was Yahusha, and could not for the crowd, because he was little of stature. And he ran before and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was to pass that way. And when Yahusha came to the place, he looked up and saw him, and said unto him, Zacchaeus, speed up and come down, for today I must stay at your house. And he speeded up and came down, and received him joyfully. And when they saw it, they all murmured, saying that he was gone to be guest with a man that is a sinner. And Zacchaeus stood and said unto Adonai, Behold, Adonai, the half of my goods I give to the poor. And if I have taken anything from any man by false accusation, I restore him 4 times. And Yahusha said unto him, This day is salvation come to this house, for so much as he also is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man has come to seek and to save that which was lost. And as they heard these things, he added and spoke a parable, because he was near Jerusalem, and because they thought that the kingdom of Elohiym should immediately appear. He said, therefore, a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom, and to return. And he called his 10 slaves, and delivered them 10 pounds, and said unto them, Do business till I come. But his citizens hated him, and sent a message after him, saying, We will not have this man to reign over us. And it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, when he commanded these slaves to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Then came the first, saying, Master, your pound has gained 10 pounds. And he said unto him, Well, you good servant, because you have been faithful in a very little, you have authority over 10 cities. And the second came, saying, Master, your pound has gained 5 pounds. And he said the same to him, You also be over 5 cities. And another came, saying, Master, behold, here is your pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. For I feared you, because you are an austere man. You take up that which you have not laid down, and reap that which you did not sow. And he said unto him, Out of your own mouth I will judge you, you wicked slave. You knew that I was an austere man, taking up that which I did not lay down, and reaping that I did not sow. Why then did you not give my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required my own with interest? And he said unto them that stood by, Take from him the pound, and give it to him that has 10 pounds. And they said unto him, Master, he has 10 pounds. For I say unto you, that unto every one who has shall be given, and from him that does not have, even what he has shall be taken away from him. But those my enemies who do not want that I should reign over them, bring here, and kill them before me. And when he had thus spoken, he went before, ascending up to Jerusalem. And it came to pass, when he was come near to Bethphage and Bethania, at the mount called the Mount of Olives, he sent 2 of his disciples, saying, Go into the village over against you, in which at your entering you shall find a colt tied, where yet never man sat. Loose him, and bring him here. And if any man ask you, Why do you loose him? Thus you shall say unto him, Because Adonai has need of him. And they that were sent went their way, and found even as he said unto them. And as they were loosing the colt, the owners there said unto them, Why do you loose the colt? And they said, Adonai has need of him. And they brought him to Yahusha, and they cast their clothes upon the colt, and they sat Yahusha on it. And as he went, they spread their clothes in the way. And when he was come near, even now at the descent of the Mount of Olives, the whole multitude of the disciples began to rejoice and praise Elohiym with a loud voice for all the mighty works that they had seen, saying, Barak be the King that comes in the name of Yahuah, peace in heaven and glory in the highest. And some of the parash from among the multitude said unto him, Master, rebuke your disciples. And he answered and said unto them, I tell you that if these should keep silence, the stones would immediately cry out. And when he was come near, he beheld the city, and wept over it, saying, If you had known, even you, at least in this your day, the things which belong unto your peace, but now they are hid from your eyes. For the day shall come upon you that your enemies shall cast a trench about you, and compass you round, and keep you in on every side, and shall lay you even with the ground, and your children within you, and they shall not leave in you one stone upon another, because you did not know the time of your visitation. And he went into the temple, and began to cast out them that sold there, and them that bought, saying unto them, It is written, My house is a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of thieves. And he taught daily in the temple, but the chief Kohen and the grammateus and the chief of the people sought to destroy him, and could not find what they might do, for all the people were very attentive to hear him. Chapter 20. And it came to pass that on one of those days, as he taught the people in the temple and preached the gospel, the chief Kohen and the grammateus came upon him with the elders, and spoke unto him, saying, Tell us, by what authority do you do these things? Or, who is he that gave you this authority? And he answered and said unto them, I will also ask you one thing, and answer me. The baptism of Yochanan, was it from heaven or of men? And they reasoned with themselves, saying, If we shall say from heaven, he will say, Why then did you not believe him? And if we say of men, all the people will stone us, for they are persuaded that Yochanan was a prophet. And they answered that they could not tell where it was. And Yahusha said unto them, Neither I tell you by what authority I do these things. Then he began to speak to the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard and gave it forth to farmers, and went into a far country for a long time. And at the season he sent a slave to the farmers, that they should give him of the fruit of the vineyard. But the farmers beat him and sent him away empty. And again he sent another slave, and they beat him also, and entreated him shamefully, and sent him away empty. And again he sent a third, and they wounded him also, and cast him out. Then said the master of the vineyard, What shall I do? I will send my beloved son. It may be that they will reverence him when they see him. But when the farmers saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours. So they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. What therefore shall the master of the vineyard do unto them? He shall come and destroy these farmers, and shall give the vineyard to others. And when they heard it, they said, Never this would happen. And he beheld them and said, What is this then that is written? The stone who the builders rejected, the same has become the head of the corner. Whoever shall fall upon that stone shall be broken, but on whomever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder. And the chief Kohen and the grammateus the same hour sought to lay hands on him, and they feared the people, for they perceived that he had spoken this parable against them. And they watched him, and sent forth spies, who should feign themselves just men, that they might take hold of his words, that so they might deliver him unto the power and authority of the governor. And they asked him, saying, Master, we know that you say and teach rightly without partiality, but teach the way of Elohiym truly. Is it lawful for us to give tribute unto Caesar or no? But he perceived their craftiness, and said unto them, Why do you tempt me? Show me a penny. Whose image and inscription has it? They answered and said, Caesar's. And he said unto them, Give therefore unto Caesar the things which belong to Caesar, and unto Elohiym the things which belong to Elohiym. And they could not take hold of his words before the people, and they marveled at his answer, and kept silence. Then came unto him certain of the Tzedok, who denied that there is any resurrection, and they asked him, saying, Master, Moshe wrote unto us, if any man's brother die, having a gynee, and he die without children, that his brother should take his gynee, and raise up seed unto his brother. There were therefore 7 brothers, and the first took a gynee, and died without children. And then the second took her to gynee, and he died childless. And the third took her, and in the same way the 7 also, and they left no children, and died. Last of all the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose gynee of them is she? For 7 had her to gynee. And Yahusha answering said unto them, The children of this world marry, and are given in wedding. But they who shall be accounted worthy to obtain that world, and the resurrection from the dead, neither marry nor are given in wedding. Neither can they die any more, for they are equal unto the angels, and are the children of Elohiym, being the children of the resurrection. Now that the dead are raised, even Moshe showed at the bush, when he called Yahuah the Elohiym of Abraham, and the Elohiym of Yitzhak, and the Elohiym of Yaakov. For he is not an Elohiym of the dead, but of the living, for all live unto him. Then certain of the grammateus answering said, Master, you have said well. And after that they did not dare to ask him any questions at all. And he said unto them, How do they say that the Mashiach is David's son? And David himself said in the book of Tehillim, Adonai said unto my Adonai, You sit on my right hand, till I make yours enemies your footstool. David therefore called him Adonai. How is he then his son? Then in the audience of all the people he said unto his disciples, Beware of the grammateus, who desire to walk in long robes, and love greetings in the agora, and the highest seats in the synagogues, and the chief rooms at feasts, who devour widows' houses, and for a show make long prayers. The same shall receive greater damnation. Chapter 21. And he looked up and saw the rich men casting their gifts into the treasury. And he saw also a certain poor widow casting in their 2 small coins. And he said, Truly I say unto you, that this poor widow has cast in more than they all. For all these have cast of their abundance in unto the offerings of Elohiym. But she of her penury has cast in all the living that she had. And as some spoke of the temple, how it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said, As for these things that you consider, the days will come in which there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? And he said, Take heed that you do not be deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am, and the time draws near. You do not go, therefore, after them. But when you shall hear of wars and commotions, do not be terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not straightway. Then he said unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall be there from heaven. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And it shall become to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what you shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to refute nor resist. And you shall be betrayed both by parents and brothers and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. And you shall be hated by all men for my name's sake. But there shall not a hair of your head perish. In your patience you gain your souls. And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation there is near. Then let them who are in Yehudah flee to the mountains, and let them who are in the midst of it depart out, and do not let them that are in the countries enter there. For these are the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then they shall see the Son of Man coming in a cloud, with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draws near. And he spoke to them a parable, Behold, the fig tree and all the trees. When they now shoot forth, you see and know of your own selves that summer is now near. So the same, when you see these things come to pass, you know that the kingdom of Elohiym is near. Truly I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be burdened with debauchery and intoxication and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare it shall come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. You watch therefore, and pray always, that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. And in the daytime he was teaching in the temple, and at night he went out and remained in the mount that is called the Mount of Olives. And all the people came early in the morning to him in the temple, to hear him. Chapter 22. Now the feast of unleavened bread was approaching, which is called the Pesach, and the chief Kohen and grammateus sought how they might kill him, for they feared the people. Then entered the accuser into Yehudah, surnamed Ishkiria, being of the number of the 12. And he went his way, and communed with the chief Kohen and captains how he might betray him unto them. And they were glad, and consented to give him money. And he promised, and sought opportunity to betray him unto them in the absence of the multitude. Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Pesach must be killed. And he sent Keph and Yochanan, saying, Go and prepare us the Pesach, that we may eat. And they said unto him, Where do you want that we prepare it? And he said unto them, Behold, when you have entered into the city, there shall be a man to meet you, bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house where he enters in. And ye shall say unto the good man of the house, The master said unto you, Where is the guest chamber, where I shall eat the Pesach with my disciples? And he shall show you a large upper room furnished. There make ready. And they went and found as he had said unto them, and they made ready the Pesach. And when the hour was come, he sat down, and the 12 apostolos with him. And he said unto them, With desire I have desired to eat this Pesach with you before I suffer. For I say unto you, I will not any more eat of it until it is fulfilled in the kingdom of Elohiym. And he took the cup and gave thanks, and said, Take this, and divide it among yourselves. For I say unto you, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of Elohiym shall come. And he took bread, and gave thanks, and broke it, and gave unto them, saying, This is my body which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me. Likewise, he also took the cup after supper, saying, This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is shed for you. But behold, the hand of him that betrays me is with me on the table. And truly the Son of Man goes, as it was determined, but woe unto that man by whom he is betrayed. And they began to inquire among themselves which of them it was that should do this thing. And there was also a strife among them, which of them should be accounted the greatest. And he said unto them, The kings of the Gentiles have dominion over them, and they that exercise authority upon them are called benefactors. But you shall not be so. But he that is greatest among you, let him be as the younger, and he that is chief as he that does serve. For who is greater, he that sits at the table, or he that serve? Is not he that sits at the table? But I am among you as he that serves. You are they who have continued with me in my temptations, and I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father has appointed unto me, that you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Yisra'el. And Adonai said, Shimon, Shimon, behold, the accuser has asked to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for you, that your faith does not fail, and when you are converted, strengthen your brothers. And he said unto him, Adonai, I am ready to go with you, both into prison and to death. And he said, I tell you, Keph, the cock shall not crow this day, before that you shall 3 times deny that you know me. And he said unto them, When I sent you without bag and scrip and shoes, did you lack anything? And they said, Nothing. Then he said unto them, But now he that has a bag, let him take it, and the same his scrip. And he that has no sword, let him sell his cloth and buy one. For I say unto you that what is written must yet be accomplished in me. And he was numbered among the transgressors, for the things concerning me have an end. And they said, Adonai, behold, here are 2 swords. And he said unto them, It is enough. And he came out and went, as he was accustomed, to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples also followed him. And when he was at the place, he said unto them, Pray that you do not enter into temptation. And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast, and kneeled down and prayed, saying, Father, if you are willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, let not my will but yours be done. And there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him. And being in an agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. And when he rose up from prayer, and he came to his disciples, he found them sleeping from sorrow, and said unto them, Why do you sleep? Rise and pray, lest you enter into temptation. And while he yet spoke, behold, a multitude, and he that was called Yehuda, one of the 12, went before them, and drew near unto Yahusha to kiss him. But Yahusha said unto him, Yehuda, do you betray the Son of Man with a kiss? When they who were around him saw what would follow, they said unto him, Adonai, shall we strike with the sword? And one of them stroked the slave of the high Kohen, and cut off his right ear. And Yahusha answered and said, Enough. And he touched his ear, and healed him. Then Yahusha said unto the chief Kohen, and captains of the temple, and the elders who came to him, Did you come out as against a thief with swords and staves? When I was daily with you in the temple, you did not stretch forth your hands against me, but this is your hour and the power of darkness. Then they took him and led him and brought him into the high Kohen's house, and Keph followed afar off. And when they had kindled a fire in the midst of the hall, and were sat down together, Keph sat down among them. But a certain maid saw him as he sat by the fire, and earnestly looked upon him, and said, This man was also with him. And he denied him, saying, Woman, I do not know him. And after a little while another saw him, and said, You are also with them. And Keph said, Man, I am not. And about the space of 1 hour after another confidently affirmed, saying, Truly, this fellow also was with him, for he is a Galileos. And Keph said, Man, I do not know what you say. And immediately, while he yet spoke, the cock crew. And Adonai turned and looked upon Keph, and Keph remembered the word of Adonai, how he had said unto him, Before the cock crow, you shall deny me 3 times. And Keph went out and wept bitterly. And the men that held Yahusha mocked him and stroked him. And when they had blindfolded him, they struck him on the face, and asked him, saying, Prophesy, who is it that beat you? And many other things blasphemously they spoke against him. And as soon as it was day, the elders of the people and the chief Kohen and the grammateus came together, and led him into their council, saying, Are you the Mashiach? Tell us. And he said unto them, If I tell you, you will not believe. And if I also ask you, you will not answer me, nor let me go. Hereafter shall the Son of Man sit on the right hand of the power of Elohiym. Then they all said, Are you then the son of Elohiym? And he said unto them, You say that I am. And they said, What do we need any further witness? For we ourselves have heard of his own mouth. Chapter 23. And the whole multitude of them arose and led him unto Pilatus. And they began to accuse him, saying, We found this fellow perverting the nation, and forbidding to give tribute to Caesar, saying that he himself is the Mashiach, a king. And Pilatus asked him, saying, Are you the king of the Yahudi? And he answered him and said, You say it. Then Pilatus said to the chief Kohen and to the people, I find no fault in this man. And they were more insistent, saying, He stirs up the people, teaching throughout all Yehudah, beginning from Galilee to this place. When Pilatus heard of Galilee, he asked if the man was a Galileos. And as soon as he knew that he belonged into the Herodes jurisdiction, he sent him to Herodes, who himself also was at Jerusalem at that time. And when Herodes saw Yahusha, he was exceeding glad, for he wanted to see him for a long time, because he had heard many things of him, and he hoped to have seen some miracle done by him. Then he questioned with him in many words, but he, answering him, nothing. And the chief Kohen and grammateus stood and vehemently accused him. And Herodes with his men of war despised him, and mocked him, and clothed him in a gorgeous robe, and sent him again to Pilatus. And the same day Pilatus and Herodes were made friends together, for before they were at enmity between themselves. And Pilatus, when he had called together the chief Kohen and the rulers and the people, said unto them, You have brought this man unto me, as one that perverts the people. And behold, I, having examined him before you, have found no fault in this man in regards to those things where you accuse him. No, nor yet Herodes, for I sent you to him, and lo, nothing worthy of death is done unto him. I will therefore discipline him and release him, for of necessity he must release one unto them at the feast. And they cried out all at once, saying, Away with this man, and release unto us Gaon Abba, who for a certain sedition made in the city and for murder was cast into prison. Pilatus, therefore, willing to release Yahusha, spoke again to them, but they cried, saying, Impale him, impale him. And he said unto them the third time, Why, what evil has he done? I have found no cause of death in him. I will therefore discipline him and let him go. And they were imposed with loud voices, requiring that he might be impaled, and the voices of them and of the chief Kohen prevailed. And Pilatus gave sentence that it should be as they required. And he released unto them him that for sedition and murder was cast into prison, whom they had desired, but he delivered Yahusha to their pleasure. And as they led him away, they laid hold upon one Shimon, a Kyrianos, coming out of the country, and on him they laid the stake, that he might bear it after Yahusha. And there followed him a great multitude of people and of women, who also mourned and lamented him. But Yahusha, turning unto them, said, Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. For behold, the days are coming in which they shall say, Barak are the barren, and the wombs that never bare, and the breasts who never gave suck. Then they shall begin to say to the mountains, Fall on us, and to the hills, Cover us. For if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry? And there were also 2 other criminals led with him to be put to death. And when they came to the place which is called Skull, there they impaled him, and the criminals, one on the right hand and the other on the left. Then Yahusha said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And they parted his clothes and cast lots. And the people stood looking, and the rulers also with them ridiculed him, saying, He saved others, let him save himself, if he is the Mashiach, the chosen of Elohiym. And the soldiers also mocked him, coming to him and offering him vinegar, and saying, If you are the king of the Yehudi, save yourself. And an inscription was also written over him, in letters of Ellenikos and Romaikos and Eber, This is the king of the Yehudi. And one of the criminals who was hanged defamed him, saying, If you are the Mashiach, save yourself and us. But the other answering rebuked him, saying, Do you not fear Elohiym, seeing you are in the same condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds. But this man has done nothing improper. And he said unto Yahusha, Adonai, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And Yahusha said unto him, Truly I say unto you, today shall you be with me in Paradisos. And it was about the 6th hour, and there was a darkness over all the earth until the 9th hour. And the sun was darkened, and the veil of the temple was rent in the midst. And when Yahusha had cried out with a loud voice, he said, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. And having said thus, he breathed his last. Now, when the centurion saw what was done, he glorified Elohiym, saying, Certainly this was a righteous man. And all the people that came together to that sight, looking at the things which were done, stroked their breasts and returned. And all his acquaintance and the women that followed him from Galilee stood afar off, looking at these things. And behold, there was a man named Yosef, a counselor, and he was a good man and a just. The same had not consented to the counsel and deed of them. He was of Ramah, a city of the Yehudi, who also himself waited for the kingdom of Elohiym. This man went unto Pilatus and begged the body of Yahusha. And he took it down and wrapped it in linen and laid it in a sepulchre that was cut in stone, where never man before was laid. And that day was the preparation, and the Shabbath was beginning to dawn. And the women also who came with him from Galilee followed after and looked at the sepulchre and how his body was laid. And they returned and prepared spices and ointments and rested the Shabbath day according to the commandment. Chapter 24. Now, on the Shabbath, reaching the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came unto the sepulchre, bringing the spices which they had prepared, and certain others with them. And they found the stone rolled away from the sepulchre. And they entered in, and did not find the body of Adonai Yahusha. And it came to pass, as they were much perplexed thereabout, behold, 2 men stood by them in shining clothes. And as they were afraid, and bowed down their faces to the earth, they said unto them, Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not here, but is risen. Remember how he spoke unto you when he was yet in Galilee, saying, The Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men, and be impaled, and the 3rd day rise again. And they remembered his words, and returned from the sepulchre, and told all these things unto the 11, and to all the rest. It was Miriam Magdalene, and Jochanan, and Miriam the mother of Jacob, and other women that were with them, who told these things unto the apostolos. And their words seemed to them as idle tales, and they did not believe them. Then Keph arose and ran unto the sepulchre, and, stooping down, he looked at the linen clothes laid by themselves, and departed, wondering in himself at that which was come to pass. And behold, 2 of them went that same day to a village called Yem, which was from Jerusalem about 60 stadion. And they talked together of all these things which had happened. And it came to pass that, while they communed together and reasoned, Yahusha himself drew near and went with them. But their eyes were prevented that they should not recognize him. And he said unto them, What kind of things are these that you have one to another as you walk and are sad? And one of them, whose name was Cleopas, answering said unto him, Are you only a stranger in Jerusalem, and have you not known the things which have come to pass there in these days? And he said unto them, What things? And they said unto him, Concerning Yahusha of Nazareth, who was a prophet, mighty in deed and word before Elohiym and all the people, and how the chief Kohen and our rulers delivered him to be condemned to death, and have impaled him. But we expected that it had been he who should have redeemed Yisra'el, and beside all this, today is the third day since these things were done. Yes, and certain women also of our multitude astonished us, who were early at the sepulchre. And when they did not find his body, they came, saying that they had also seen a vision of angels, who said that he was alive. And certain of them who were with us went to the sepulchre, and found it even so as the woman had said, but they did not see him. Then he said unto them, O fools, and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Should not the Mashiach to have suffered these things, and to enter into his glory? And beginning at Moshe and all the prophets, he explained unto them in all the Scriptures the things concerning himself. And they drew near unto the village where they went, and he made as though he would have gone further. But they constrained him, saying, Stay with us, for it is toward evening, and the day is far spent. And he went in to stay with them. And it came to pass, as he sat at the table with them, he took bread, and brake it, and broke, and gave to them. And their eyes were opened, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight. And they said one to another, Did not our heart burn within us, while he talked with us by the way, and while he opened to us the Scriptures? And they rose up the same hour, and returned to Jerusalem, and found the 11 gathered together, and them that were with them, saying, Adonai is risen indeed, and has appeared to Shimon. And they told what things were done in the way, and how he was known of them in breaking of bread. And as they thus spoke, Yahusha himself stood in the midst of them, and said unto them, Peace be unto you. But they were terrified and frightened, and thought they had seen a spirit. And he said unto them, Why are you troubled, and why do doubts arise in your hearts? Look at my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Touch me, and see, for a spirit has not flesh and bones, as you have seen me. And when he had thus spoken, he showed them his hands and his feet. And while they yet did not believe for joy, and wondered, he said unto them, Do you have here any food? And they gave him a piece of a broiled fish, and of a honeycomb. And he took it, and ate before them. And he said unto them, These are the words which I spoke unto you, while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled which were written in the law of Moshe, and in the prophets, and in the Tehillim concerning me. Then he opened their understanding, that they might understand the Scriptures, and said unto them, Thus it is written, and thus it was necessary for the Mashiach to suffer, and to rise from the dead the third day, and that repentance and forgiveness of sins should be preached in his name among all nations, beginning at Jerusalem. And you are witnesses of these things. And behold, I send the promise of my Father upon you, but stay in the city of Jerusalem until you are invested with power from on high. And he led them out as far as to Bethania, and he lifted up his hands and baraked them. And it came to pass, while he baraked them, he was parted from them and carried up into heaven. And they worshipped him, and returned to Jerusalem with great joy, and there continually in the temple, praising and barak Elohiym. Amen.